Hi, everyone. I am sorry that I'm not able to be here with you today, and I am very much looking forward to our conversation next week. And thank you to Brianne and the whole team for making this time while I'm away. So today, we're going to have a chance for you to think about your leadership from the perspective of you as a leader and really thinking about yourself in your organization and in your community. And when we meet again next week, we'll have a conversation that's more about how does your organization, how does your team function in the world? And so today we're going to invite you into 3 breakouts. We're going to have a breakout for folks who typically tend to fly at a high altitude, for folks that typically tend to fly at a medium altitude. And if you're mid to high, kind of just figure out which one you feel a more affinity for. And then folks that tend to fly like right at the ground, right at that like day-to-day, I'm looking at that immediate level. And at the high altitude, we're going to be 80,000 to 50,000. So folks that are thinking about seeing the forest, vision, mission, landscape. At the medium level, we're going to have folks that think about time frames and strategy, kind of that medium term. And for folks that think about that 10 to 1,000, 0 on the ground level, these are folks that are thinking about the implementation, about how you're taking things in the day-to-day. So this is art, not science. We invite you into the breakout room that you generally tend to fly at. And in those breakouts, we want you to connect with peers that share a similar altitude and think about some important questions together. What are the strengths and weaknesses of typically flying at this altitude? Where would you like to strengthen your work in this altitude? Where would you like to strengthen how you connect to people who fly at other altitudes, particularly within your team or close partners? How can you translate the insights from your altitude to the other altitudes in a way they can understand? And what is it most important for people who fly at other altitudes to know about you in order to partner with you? Now, here's the thing. 5 questions is probably too many for a breakout. So consider this a menu. If you get to 2 of these questions, that's great. We want you to follow the energy of the group. Which of these questions is resonating for you as a breakout as most useful? Spend your time there, right? Why we bolded the last question, what is most important for people who fly at other altitudes to know about you, is that we really want you to focus on making sure that's one of the 2 questions or one of the 3 or 4 questions that you get to answer during your breakout time. When you come back, we're going to ask a reporter from your group to share your answer to that very last question. What would you like people from other altitudes to know about your altitude? Okay. So when you get into your breakout groups in just a moment, Brianne is going to get you into your breakout groups. So skilled at this. We're going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, we're going to ask you to introduce yourselves again with your name and your organization and your town. Then we're going to ask you to pick a reporter who will capture the answers to that very last question, and just make sure you hit it before you end your time in your breakout, and that reporter will share back when you all come back together. You're going to have a really nice chunk of time for this breakout, so we invite you to take some time to think about your answers to some of these questions before you start just jumping in the breakout, and follow what feels most useful for your breakout team. All right, good luck.